Hey everyone, welcome back to a very special episode of the School of Greatness. What you're about to experience right now is actually an interview I did with the legendary sports icon, Mike Tyson. And he's got a big fight that he's got coming up with Jake Paul. And one of the things that I thought was interesting was revisiting this interview. I actually went on Mike's show. It was called Hot Boxing. So this is an interview that I went on his show. But like I tend to do in most situations, I turned the interview around and started diving deep in asking him questions about his mindset, about his legacy, about how he's reinvented himself after boxing, business, and all these different things. So I wanted you to dive in deep around the mindset of Mike Tyson, how he thinks, how he started to actually heal some parts of the things in his life that were causing suffering and pain. He talks about transitioning and transforming into a new identity, into a new man. And I'm excited to see what Mike continues to do with his life moving forward. This was actually an interesting test for me. I've never been drunk or high in my life. And the entire time they were smoking marijuana in this kind of contained room. So it was actually an interesting test for me to see if I could be present while this was happening on his show, Hot Boxing. So without further ado, let's dive into this interview with the one and only Mike Tyson. What do you understand about the world? What do you understand about it? And what would you say to your 20-year-old self that just is about to win the title?
I was thinking about the world now that I'm one with everything. That we're involved with everything. I'm involved with the bugs. I'm involved with the ants, the butterflies, the cats, the dogs. I'm one with everything. The cars, smoke, everything. I'm one with it all.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Hot Boxing. I'm Evan Britton.
And I'm Mike Tyson.
Dude, we got a great guest today. We got a guest who I'm a big fan of. I heard this guy on a podcast a couple years ago, I think. And his name's Lewis Howes. Great to have you here, brother.
Thanks for having me.
What's up, Louis?
Thank you.
What do you call yourself? You're sort of like this new age philosopher. You're a young, great thinker.
I appreciate
Are you all, brother?
Yes. He's written a book. Sorry, let me give you a little more intro. He's written a book, New York Times best-selling author. This book in particular that's on my mind, which is very pertinent to our show, is called The Mask of Masculinity.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I think we got a lot to talk about there.
It was a European. I think he was not a philosopher, but I think a therapist, and he did the same thing with the mask of sanity. He got his name.
Ooh.
But it was about everyday people. We're not who we appear to be.
Yeah, we put on masks.
Oh, yeah.
We put on this projection to try to fit in or try to make people like us or try to please people or win people over. And we were just talking about this before, that you played in the NFL for a number of years and you had an identity, a mask that you wore to fit in, to be that player, right? To play the role of lineman, big tough guy, whatever it may be.
You had to be the tough guy because everybody, I don't care who was the gangster in the mall, they respected a tough guy.
That's it. Yeah, that was your life growing up. They respected you because you didn't back down from anyone.
I was bullied when I was a kid. And I said, wow, if I was like these guys that were bullying me, nobody would with me.
Right. And you became the ultimate bully of the world by destroying everyone. And here's the thing, these masks that men wear, they serve a purpose because it helps us get a result in our life. You know, I wore the athlete mask, which was, I will do whatever it takes to win at all costs. I will freaking destroy people on the field. I will train my butt off. I'll hurt myself. I won't sleep. I'll freaking do whatever to get bigger, faster, stronger at all costs so that I can achieve my goal. And here's the crazy thing. These masks work because you were in the NFL. You became the ultimate bully and were the greatest fighter of all time. But here's what doesn't work. We are left with this sense of like this prison inside, right? We might achieve success on the outside, but then we are prisoners and we are unfulfilled on the inside, and we don't know what inner peace is. So the masks hold us back from inner peace.
And we take that out on our loved ones, the people close to
everyone.
us. Our family, our children.
Everyone suffers around us when we wear masks.
Absolutely.
So, So that's why I wrote the book, because I was achieving at every level. I was making millions. I was, playing professional football. I was accomplishing things, but I was suffering inside.
I knew if I didn't change, I couldn't have a family. Like, my kids wouldn't respect me. I was just on that verge where my kids would almost not respecting me no more.
Really?
Almost right there. The clip of it is so frightening.
Wow.
Yeah,
How did it feel when they when they started to not respect you?
I don't know. I felt like dying. I wanted to kill myself. Yeah. That's all I have in my children. They didn't respect me. I didn't want to live anymore.
Wow. How old were you then?
39.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was a big wake-up call for you? That was something that...
pretty big, yeah.
So how did you start to shift to get their respect again?
It was hard.
Because it was 40 years of conditioning.
It was so hard. You just had to, you had to be available. You had to come to work. You had to show up. You had to have gratitude.
Do you have a lot of gratitude in your life right now?
Oh, I've been beaten in submission, so I have a lot of gratitude, yeah.
Yeah. What was the biggest beatdown you've ever had, whether it be physically or emotionally or spiritually?
I lost my 4-year-old daughter. She accidentally killed herself by accident.
Oh, man.
She on a treadmill. She didn't know how to work it, and she got hurt.
Wow.
So after that, I didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to do.
How'd you recover from that?
I haven't. I just know in order to make her happy, I have to do good things and be positive.
Yeah. Wow. Did you ever think positive before that moment or when you were fighting as well, or was it always negative?
No, it was always about me. It was always about everybody else.
Yeah.
I would give people money and stuff. I was capable of being kind to people, nice to people, but it didn't matter. I just wanted what I wanted, and that's all that mattered.
Right. Why do you think we care so much about those things, about like what we win or what we get? Why do you think men in general?
Because, listen, this is what happens. Us as little kids, especially boys, what we hear, we think of great men all the time. We think of people that we heard. Hey, did you hear about that guy that knocked that guy out around the corner? What was his name again? We always hear legend. We hear about Jim Brown. We hear about Bruce Lee. We hear about all these guys. And we want to know how this bad guy is telling me about these guys. I'm scared of this guy that's telling me about these guys.
Yeah.
So I want to be like these guys, so guys like this could be afraid of me or respect me or something,
And it's ancient.
Yeah.
It's very ancient. Knights slaying the dragons.
Yeah.
Going out on a hunt.
Like
and
Jim Brown, the football player.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Like, I didn't know he was a football player. From the streets, I used to thought he was a bad kicking in the street. I didn't know he was a football player. I thought he was a bad. I had no idea he was a football player until I got older.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Why do you think you wanted respect was the thing you wanted the most from people?
Because they bullied me all the time. Everybody picked on me.
Why do you think they picked on you?
I don't know, because I had nobody to protect me. I had there's some people in the neighborhood that got very intimidating families. They may have 20 kids in the family.
You're not going to mess with those kids.
And they're very aggressive.
Yeah.
Their cousins and their brothers and everything, they're very aggressive. So we don't bother those guys.
Yeah, because they got a family to get behind you. Yeah, you had no family to get behind you.
I had no family like that, no.
Dang.
What do you think about that, Louis? Why do people... What is the thing about bullying? Is it that we're programmed to gain superiority over others?
I think bullies are very insecure, and they want to feel they want to feel in power, and they're actually powerless, and so they create scenarios to have power over other people to feel like they're in control. They're very insecure. I think we've all bullied at some time, whether it be one person or a group of people or in a relationship. I think we've all are at fault of it. Because we want to feel a sense of control or power or certainty. And that lack of certainty, when you're 12 years old growing up, you have no certainty. It's like, who am I? What am I doing? We have no certainty.
The fact is, as we talk, really look at this, as we talk, Eben, when you think about it, it's for these few questions. Check it out. Who are you?
Yeah. No one knows when you're 12.
Yeah. Where have you came from?
Yeah.
What is your purpose? Why are you breathing? Why do you look the way you do?
Yeah.
Who's the first you? That you know, when you ultimate your existence. The first one, probably 1 million years ago, 10 million years ago. Who is he? What did he look like? Was he black? Was he Asian?
Crazy, right?
We don't even know who the first us was.
Why do you think you're here, Mike?
Excuse me?
Why do you think you're here?
Why do I think I'm here? To understand the world
Yeah.
before I die. To be lucky to understand it and be conscious of it before I die.
What would you say to your 20-year-old self that just is about to win the title?
I was thinking about the world now that I'm one with everything. That we're involved with everything. I'm involved with the bugs. I'm involved with the ants, the butterflies, the cats, the dogs. I'm one with everything. The clouds, the sewage, everything. The cars, smoke, everything. I'm one with it all.
What did you think back then?
Excuse me?
What did you think your understanding of the world was when you were 20?
When I was 20,
What was your viewpoint of the world?
I had no viewpoint. Only thing I knew was these guys were great champions, and I wanted to be like them.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I remember when I was a kid, when I was 5, I would watch college football with my dad on TV. I would watch Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm from Ohio, small town in Ohio called Delaware, Ohio. And I would see the All-Americans on TV, and my dad would get so excited about the All-American football players at Ohio State. And I was like, because my dad talked about it, that's what I wanted to be. And so my whole life became, how do I become an All-American athlete? And that was the only thing I cared about. And then when it was over, I was like, well, who am I and what do I do with my life? Just kind of like when you retired from football, this identity.
Listen,
know? So
everybody
crazy.
Dick Buckets, all those guys had to deal with that.
Yeah.
Imagine being so immortal on the football field,
Yeah.
and then that stops.
Stops. And then you live in the past constantly.
You can't help it. How could you not help it?
Yeah.
Tell me that, especially in the 50s and stuff, when people wasn't elevated on after we done with this, if we haven't saved up, we're
Screwed.
if we didn't save up after this career, we're in the gutter again. I don't care, black, white, Chinese, unless somebody's such a big fan, they're rich guys, I loved them when I played, and they gave you a job. That's what happened to a lot of those guys. They became salesmen for the big corporations because guys loved them when they were playing.
But then the glory was over, though, you know?
It's the ultimate endeavor to have to reinvent yourself.
It's
And
scary.
everyone has to do that.
All the time.
You know, all the time.
Every couple of years, it's almost like you have to.
all the
At
time.
every phase of your
Shedding
life.
skins, letting go, transforming your mindset and your thoughts. you
Yeah.
know.
What was it like for you when you had to reinvent through financially? Because I think you went bankrupt once or
time,
twice,
yes.
or you
Yes,
know, how
big
did you rebuild and reinvent from a place of, man, I just had everything and now I lost it for whatever
No,
reason?
I had everything, and next thing you know, I'm $60 million in debt.
So now you owe everything.
Could you imagine, dude?
You owe everything
Like
now.
60 and 90 million in
How'd you
debt.
get out of that?
This is interesting. Listen, right? For some reason, they thought I was trying to get a deal to get out of this bankruptcy. They thought I was going to still fight. I had no intention to fight. They said,
Yeah.
nah, you're going to fight. You're going to get out of this deal, then you're going to fight for a whole bunch of money.
Yes.
And sucker us. So they kept thinking I was going to fight, and they wouldn't give me deals. And so I just kept paying a little bit at a time, make some money, I kept paying them. And then, next thing you know, I would owe them money for so long, they would say, hey, you owed us for so long, so we're going to decline you owing us this. Because you're not paying us. You owed us for so long, so now
Right.
you don't owe us $5 million. No, we're going to take $7 to $5 million off. And so that's how I was getting down. And so they said, all right, we're going to take this off too. And I wound up owing them $2 million, and I paid that, and it was over. I said,
Done. Nice.
Wow.
They
Wow,
kept
bro.
taking it down, but you haven't paid in 7 months. If you don't pay this in 7 months, we're going to take $20 million off or something like that.
just
It was
never pay 'em.
Crazy. Yeah, you never pay. How could they do that? They supposed to take everything. I was living in mansions. They supposed to took all that. How did that happen?
Interesting.
I was thinking, how did I'm keeping all this? Why they not coming to take this stuff?
Interesting.
Yeah, they never came to take anything.
What do you think the moment? What was the?
I had cars and stuff. I couldn't ride them because I couldn't have money to put gas in them. That Rolls Royce, I can't ride them. Got no gas.
Just sitting there, yeah.
Yeah,
That's so crazy, Mike.
crazy.
Was there a moment in your life? Was it maybe the bankruptcy, or when your daughter died, or when you lost respect with your kids? Was there a moment when like things really started to shift in your mind to say, okay, I need to figure this stuff out. I need to really,
I didn't have the slightest idea. I got involved with this woman who's now my wife, right? And she just kept saying, everything's going to be all right. We're going to write a show. We're going to produce television shows and movies, and this is going to be over. And I'm looking at her, and I'm still strung out on drugs. And I'm looking at her, this bitch is delusional. And next thing you know, We were talking about, we went and saw Chaz Palminteri at Bronx Tale, but we saw it on stage. It was magnificent. It was so quiet, you could hear a mouse on cotton. He was so captivating. You know what I mean? This guy was so captivating. Chaz Palminteri was so captivating. Everybody was so quiet, you could hear every... And I said, baby, I want to do that. Baby, I do that before, like when I go to Europe, people ask me questions and I answer the question, but this time I just want to answer the question. I do it, you know what I mean, theatrically, like Mr. Palminteri. And she was writing the script, and we were rehearsing. She was writing the script. We didn't know how we was going to ever do it. And then a friend of mine was at the gym where I work at, and the guy was there, don't Mike Tyson work? And he said, yeah. He said, if you ever see him, give him my call. I want to do a show with him.
Whoa, bro.
Came out of nowhere.
That's the universe manifesting that.
Came out the universe a week later. So we called the guy. It took my wife, I think, 6 weeks to write the show.
Wow.
Her first show ever. We did the show, standing room over, knockout, blasted all over the world, knocked the country out. We did it on Broadway for 3 weeks. We
First
blew
show
them
in
out.
Vegas?
Yeah, on Vegas, was knocked everybody out. Everybody came in town. Was always. So one of Spike Lee's assistants came and saw the show and said, Spike, I think we should get into this. And then Spike said, want to go to Broadway? I was in Poland. He called me and said, want to go to Broadway? We went to Broadway. Listen, when we went to Broadway, everybody came. All the Broadway shows and actresses and actors came. Stevie Wonder, everybody came, all the actors. We did on a Pandier here in California. All the people from the sets came, all the actors and actors, everybody came. It was so awesome. I couldn't believe we could ever do something like that. Be on that level where they would come watch us do something other than a fight. Something that I'm not going to get hurt doing. I did that, you know? I said, wow, I'm performing, these guys are coming and they're enjoying it.
Mike, I've heard you talk about this a lot, but how did you feel being so honest and vulnerable about your experiences? Was that the first time you had really done that? I mean...
Yeah, kind of. But listen, it was embarrassing at first, but the people knew all this. The people that was, they knew. They saw what happened in the paper. They read the paper. They saw what happened. They saw what happened. People complained about on television. So everybody knew what happened. So I had to be very honest.
You did you were the 8 Mile move. It was like the end of 8 Mile. We're just like, here's everything I did. You know, I'm going to say it all.
Yeah. Everybody knew it, but they just never heard me say it. But they all knew it.
That's the only way.
Yeah, everybody knew. It wasn't no secrets.
I didn't watch it live. I wanted to when it was on Broadway, but I remember watching it on was it HBO
One
or
of those shows,
yeah, something like that.
on HBO.
And my friend saw it and he's like, "You have to watch this." He goes, "It's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen." And I was like, "No freaking way!" Mike Tyson doing a one-man show. I was like, "There's no way." And I turned this thing on, and I'm not just saying this because you're here. I turned this thing on, and I was like, "Wow, you're an incredible storyteller and an incredible performer." You know, obviously you're a great performer as an athlete, but you transitioned, and I don't think anyone saw it coming that you had that capacity and capability to captivate an audience, whether it be live or TV audience, and you did an incredible job, man.
Thank you.
It was inspiring.
But listen, Evan, my wife, it was supposed to be a gritty, hardcore show of a hardcore guy that came out like a comedy. They laughed at my hard, tough life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about not having a father. The people broke. I left, so I ran back to the street. I said, babe, what's going on? What's happening? Why they laughing? She said, it's Carter. Keep it going. Keep it going.
It's good.
Keep it going. They're laughing. Keep it going.
What was the biggest lesson you learned about yourself after that whole experience had finished?
That shouldn't be too hard on myself. You know, I should be more appreciative of what I've accomplished from where I've came from.
That's amazing.
Are you usually hard on yourself?
Absolutely.
Why?
I don't know. That's all I've ever known. Because if I made mistakes, I got harshly, verbally punished. You heard some bad stuff.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. You heard some stuff you didn't want to hear.
Wow.
So you get yourself numb to that by calling yourself that all the time.
I'm a loser. I suck.
Yeah. What the fuck are you doing? Are you stupid? You dumb. How could you do that?
Yeah.
What do you say to yourself now?
Huh?
What's the conversation you say to yourself?
Oh, I love myself. I love my kids. And then your kids also, aren't you very lucky that you have your wife? What would you be without her?
Yeah. Wow. It's beautiful, man.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, if Mike Tyson can transform, you know what I mean, as a example of a man who's gone through a lot of trauma.
Life prepares you. Life prepares you for everything. Prepares you for doing 100 years in jail, prepares you for getting ready to go to the electric chair, prepares you for death. You know what I mean? when life is enduring with you, when you're enduring with life and you're making the age limits going to your 50s, your 60s, your 80s, and you're making it up there, you're prepared. All your friends are no longer around. Most of your family members not around. What the am I doing here? Then we go.
Wow.
You know.
What's the thing that's prepared you the most? What experience that you've gone through do you think has prepared you the most for where you're at now?
Just dropping my ego. I think my life would be disastrous if I never took the toad. If I took this ancient medicine, the toad, right? And it's changed my whole perspective on how I look at life and how I look at people and how I talk to people.
Wow.
Do you know about the toad?
No.
Wow, why don't you educate me? This is going to be very interesting.
Tell
You're
me.
an awesome guy. Please.
Thank you.
So you know about ayahuasca?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh.
So the active ingredient in there is DMT.
Yep.
So the toad, from its venom, which they extract and then dry it over a certain period of time, it crystallizes. It contains 5-MeO-DMT, which, from the way I understand it, is DMT with an extra methyl oxy group attached to it, which
What's that
makes
mean?
it
It's like super steroided.
so it's
like on
supercharged
steroids. Yeah.
to your brain. So it crosses the blood-brain barrier faster.
Wow.
And so, it does, you vaporize it, and it does very much the same things as DMT, but it's really the top of the pyramid as far as entheogenic substances.
Wow.
And so, people are cured of depression and addiction and, are released of trauma and pain.
Right. Yeah.
And so Mike
So you did it.
had a very transformational
quite a few
experience.
times. And listen, if you take this medicine, it's a possibility you may feel like God,
Wow.
and then you may have a small encounter with God and say, "Oh God, please forgive me. I'm sorry."
Is that what happened for you?
Yeah.
What was the encounter like?
I felt the pain of everybody I ever hurt before in my life.
Wow. That sounds pain. That's
Sorry,
fine.
God, please, Lord, I'm sorry. It was crazy.
You felt the pain of everyone you hurt. How many people do you think you've hurt?
Oh, man.
Hundreds, thousands, tens of
you felt
thousands.
The pain. It's so amazing, that pain that you could feel. I had nobody, it was nothing. I just existed.
Wow.
And you could just feel everything. Just feel, and I just didn't understand. It's like being dead. You're vulnerable as hell. There's no ego. You're afraid of everything.
Naked, yeah.
Yeah. It's please, don't hurt me. I'm sorry. It's please. God, please.
Wow.
You don't even see nobody and you're scared. You just feel. You just got to feel you're scared. I'm sorry, please. It's just, I don't understand it, and I've never been the same since I did it.
Wow.
I don't think about hurting people. I don't think about loving people. You just don't want to do that stuff anymore.
Wow.
I've never been the same since I died. In my time on life, I'm talking a little fast, but in my time on life, I thought I'd seen it all. I thought I'd been everywhere. I think everybody drank, everybody smoked with everybody. I did it all. And I realized I don't know nothing, and I'm nobody.
Wow.
I don't know anything. I don't know where I came from. I don't know my real name. Somebody named me Mike. I don't know who the I am.
Right.
I'm just here.
Wow.
It's been pretty amazing to be on this ride with Mike, and it's just crazy amount of wisdom and insight that comes from spending time with this guy.
And I always used God as a way to just to be in. I was never really I knew of God, but it wasn't bigger than me.
You were bigger than God.
Yeah.
You were God.
Yeah, my thick head, and then you realize that you have to get on your knees. You don't know what his name is, but you know you have to worship.
Wow.
After taking the toll, years.
Once you've been humbled a certain amount of times, then you're like, okay, I'm not God anymore, right?
Listen, I'll tell you about that ego. I tell you, even though you're humble, you stop. He's still there. Don't let him look at the. I might look around and look at the reflections and wow, I'm handsome. And come the ego's up. But once you take the toll, you know he ain't.
Yeah. How do you let go of ego? And what advice would you give to men who are so ego driven? What would you say to them on how to let it go when they're so attached to it?
Listen, gonna tell you something about the ego from my experience. I'm nothing but just a junkyard gutter kid, right? But I had nothing. This old Italian man gave me an ego, right? And he gave me everything I wanted. The ego gave me everything I ever wanted and more. But it took so much more in return.
What did it take?
It took everything.
Wow.
Took everything. Being in prison took everything.
Family, love.
Yeah, well, you don't care no more. You're almost an animal.
Wow.
You know? Oh, I don't never want to go there again.
Wow, man.
Why you want to live like an animal when you can just say, give it up? Hey, I don't want to do that no more. I love you.
Wow. It's amazing.
Crazy.
It's awesome.
What's the lesson you've still yet to learn for yourself to get to that next level that you want to be at? Is there a lesson or is there a challenge that you're struggling with, a question inside that still keeps you from more love, more fulfillment, impact? What is that?
Why me? Who the f am I? Why do millions of people know me and think of me in nice ways? Why me? Why did I have to meet this guy? He had nothing. He just died broken. But how did he give me the tricks that he had to give me what I want? You know, why me? How did he know I was the guy for this job?
Wow.
I never had a boxing glove all my life. I never thought about sports. I never played sports in my life. How did he know I was the guy?
The universe.
Yeah. How does this guy know? That blows me away. How does this guy knows? Crazy.
What do you think the world needs more of right now? What's it missing?
Listen, I don't know. I can't say I know. I can only say love, kindness, passion, patience, you know, among each other.
Yeah.
Look at each other as equals, you know? Everyone can succeed in one particular way. We can all succeed if we work together in any way.
So true.
You know, any way.
No one wins unless we all win.
Exactly. And the conduct of one is the fate of us all. And there's billions of us all there. The conduct of one is the fate of us all.
Say that one more time. The conduct of one?
The conduct of one of us is the fate of all of us.
What does that mean for you?
Huh?
What does that mean to you?
That we all have to be in sync with one another.
Wow.
One guy robs a store and murders some people. That's the fate of all of us. One guy kills a guy because he's a different color or a different religion. That's the fate of all of us.
Some powerful.
Is he always this
Yeah.
insightful?
Yeah. He is, man. I mean, and that's just really, to me, why I think I've connected with Mike so much is, you know, through my career in the NFL and coming out of it, this dissolution of ego that's taken place for me over the last 4.5 years. You know, ego is just, it crushes you, really, at the end of the day, because that's the thing that ties you into all of your desires and ideas about who you are and what you're supposed to be in this manufactured realm that
and
we
it
find
chases
ourselves
everybody
in.
that loves you away.
Exactly.
You only have motherfuckers around you.
It's
Your
never
ego,
enough.
Your ego can never have nobody you love around you. It won't work.
Why is that?
If somebody loves you and your ego's acting up and it's controlling you, you can't have
You
them.
push them away.
You slammed them away.
No matter how much they try to love you, you're just
you
like,
can't do it. You can't do it. It won't work.
Because
They
you're
don't
never
exist.
satisfied.
Yes.
You're
Yeah,
never
it never
filled. That hole is never full, you know? Not enough women, not enough cars, not
Money,
enough money, not
accomplishments, press.
not enough consumption. There's not
Yeah.
enough to just consume and feed that thing. Feed that beast.
And that kind of sickness, if you can't have it all, you'd rather have nothing. Because
Yeah.
it's not enough. If it's not all of it, I'd rather have nothing.
Is that what happened to you? Where you're
I'd
like,
rather
I
have
can't-
nothing. If I can't have everyone, everything, every girl, every drug, every bed, every movie star, if I can't have every one of them, all of them, I'd rather have nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
How many women do you think you've been with?
I don't know. I'm not proud of it, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Not stuff that I'm proud of.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't even know why I did it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was the purpose of
To
it.
try to fulfill something that we were missing.
No, it was, listen, I wanted those women to love me
Why?
because I didn't love myself.
Wow. Did you let them love you?
No, Way, how can I don't love myself? I gotta let them love me. My love was to make me,
Right.
or to tell me I was great, or tell me that was the best you ever had. That was my ego.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was my fulfillment. I would pay you up a house, a car. I'm the best, aren't I?
Wow.
Woo.
What's how long have you been together with your wife?
More than 10. We were married 10 years.
What's the greatest lesson she's taught you in the last 10 years?
That I don't own her.
Did you used to feel like you owned the relationships?
I owned everything that was in my presence.
Wow.
You're around me, you're just a work. I own you, mother. You're just around me, you're a fan. You're around me, I own you, mother.
Wow.
Fan, I own you, mother. You're around me, you're in my presence. You want anything? You accept anything from me? I own you.
You owe me, I own you, yeah.
Yeah.
So when did she say, you don't own me? What was that like when she confronted you and said, hey, you don't own me?
Listen, let me tell you, have you ever been married?
No, I've never been married.
Wait, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. Marriage is something it's like a roller coaster, right? Yeah. And it's really scary because the roller coaster goes up and it gets to the top and it's making a lot of noise, and that's the beginning. We're making a lot of noise about being in love, and then we get to the top. And then we come down fast, and you can't grow. You can't learn this stuff. You got to grow with this stuff.
Yeah,
you got to go through it.
You can't get ready for this. You can't prepare for this. You know what I mean? You got to find out if you and this person really care about each other. Love is out of the question now. We're married. Love. Now it's how determined you are to make this work for the betterment of your children, your name, God. You know what I mean? How tough are you now? You're a tough guy. I want to see how tough you are. You beat up a lot of people. Let's see how tough you are with this.
Wow.
You know what I mean? This is for God. Let's see how tough you did this for money. Let's see what you could do for God.
Mm.
What's the greatest?
Awesome.
What's the thing you love about her the most now?
Right now, that she puts up with me. She put up with me for all those years. I can't believe, I said, baby, can you believe we're still married?
10 years, yeah, wow.
And then I ran into the toad.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Toad life.
Oh,
Toad life.
Toad
dude.
life up in here.
Toad life.
Oh, man.
You really have to cultivate a marriage, man. You have to
listen,
work
You've
at
been
it.
married?
Yeah.
You're married right now? You got 2 kids, you said? Or
One kid.
One kid, 2-year-old?
7-year-old.
7-year-old, wow.
Once you
Yeah,
reach that
didn't
spot
get
where
it.
you understand, hey, we have to watch. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to make sure our side of the street is clean. I can't worry about her side of the street.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure my side of the street is clean.
That's a key.
Give me
That's an absolute key.
I'm not married. I've never been married. But give me the keys to getting into a marriage that's happy and staying in a happy one. Give me your top 3 each. I want to hear.
Listen,
Don't take anything personal.
Never personal. If she says
Don't
things that
take
make
anything
How do you not take it
personal.
personal when it's
Listen,
wrong?
It takes a lot of practice.
It's not wrong because it's triggers.
when they're attacking you.
No, we have triggers from other relationships and
Yeah.
other lives.
And our yeah.
They hit those triggers, and we blame them for the trouble that everybody else caused us because they pressed those buttons that brought that pain back up.
So how do you not take it personally when they're like, you mother?
Takes a lot of practice,
You learn
man.
not to take it personally,
Yeah.
and you say, and you just tell them I love you.
That doesn't
And
just
then they
happen.
get
It disarms them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
love
Okay,
you.
so that's number
Always
1.
coming back to I love
Yes,
you.
I love you. Please, I love you.
Remember
Yes.
how much you love them.
I love you so much.
And remind yourself of it. And for me, it's about taking the energy that I bring into life, because we can take our families for granted,
Yes.
and we fall into just autopilot, programmed mechanisms with our family, especially with an intimate relationship. And so over that time, like what Mike was saying, when that love or that lusty, super hot sex time wears off,
over, yeah.
because it's going
It will.
because we are, as human beings, we are chemically programmed into that, especially men. You are biologically, evolutionarily programmed to procreate and spread your seed. So this is something that we have to battle, or at least learn how to hone and control.
And
It's
listen,
important.
this is what I found out too. Because you remember you said it comes a time when you just don't want to do it no more. You say, I'm just cool, but you still like to do it, but it's not like it used to be. That's because God prepares you to. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you're younger, it has to go. And when you get older, it's not that important.
Yes.
It's not.
You don't
that's
care
why-
as much
That's why
more.
God made it feel good.
Yeah.
Because even when you're older now, it's not that important, but it still feels good. I feel like
Yeah.
feeling good right now.
Yeah.
You know?
So, you have to come home and you have to create that romance and that love again. You know, you
Because your
have
wife
to
would
remind
totally
yourself.
lose it. She would lose. She'd pick something up. Why are you not being this way? Are you with somebody else this way? Women pick things up.
Wow.
They're very sensitive. They pick up things. You have to be consistent. The same thing all the time.
All the time.
You stop one time or something, they pick up something. Consistency with women. I learned that late. To be consistent. You have to be consistent. Never change your colors.
Wow.
Because they would pick that up quick. That's the first thing they pick. Hey,
One day you change?
1 second.
Well, that's why
1
communication.
second, she picks it up. They're different than we are.
Communication.
You see a whole bunch of people in here? If my wife was in here, we're all talking. My wife would remember here only my voice. Everybody's talking. She remember everything I said. Everybody's talking, but she can only hear my voice. That's how women are. They get tuned into your voice, everything about you, your characteristics. They want to know you. They want to be the puppet master. Not. They just want to know what it. They don't want to be the puppet master. They just want to know every move you make.
Yeah, wow.
Yes. And communication.
Yeah.
Communication. So
That's
that's
the third for sure.
communication. Don't take things personally.
Yeah. And just remember how much you love them.
Yeah.
And listen, please communicate, because something that happened 6 months ago and you won't know it till the outbursts come out. And you go, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
That's 6 months ago. What? Always communicate. Is everything okay, baby? Sure, nothing's on your mind? You don't want to talk about anything?
Every
Anything
day,
like you
yeah.
talk about? Oh, I've learned that late. I started doing that recently, like
Yes.
a year ago. And I'm like,
Yeah, that's pretty new for me.
Wow.
you too?
Communication is just, that's a constant
listen.
practice.
Eben, my whole life since I've been married, all I did was throw money at my problems.
Yeah.
Buy a house, buy your mother a house, buy some cars, get away. I can't deal with no children today.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear what the teacher said today.
Yeah.
But that's not what your partner wants from you. They want you to listen and be a partner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They want to know how the money's building. They want to know everything. You know what I mean? And then when you realize you don't have the money like you used to have, and you used to throw the money at the problem, you have to deal now. Now
To
you
deal with the problem.
And dealing with the problem, that's almost
emotional.
like death. I'd rather almost die than deal with the problem. I wish I had something to throw away. I wish I had some money I could give a lawyer to deal with the problem.
I definitely confronted that coming out of the NFL.
Oh,
With my wife.
Yeah,
you know. It was like, oh, wow. Now I'm here in
Evan,
this marriage.
remember
and
I was-
now there's nowhere to go.
That's
anymore.
so awesome.
You have all this
said
free
that.
time.
Yeah.
You're not just at a job all day. You know.
Evan, you know what?
Absolutely.
Remember one day I was in this thing, I said, why is it that men and women have to be married? Why is it that we look for a mate? And I tell you, a man needs a woman to make sure that he's a man. Because she'll make sure that we're a man, because she'll test us and try us and push us to the extent, till they see us.
Yeah.
Breaking point,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And by being a man, you have to control yourself. And that's what they teach us. Once you control yourself, you control your feelings with a woman, I don't want to say submit, but she understands I can't get to him. Once you control your feelings, because we don't have the emotional intelligence to control our feelings with the women, because in our mind, I'm macho mind.
We want to react.
Oh, she making us look like she said that. No man would ever say that to me.
Well, it's about when
That's how your
it's
ego.
about when when your woman confronts you with something, she's challenging your kingdom. She's challenging your masculinity.
Big time.
She's saying there's
Every
something
man
up.
for it. Every man, I don't care, big, strong, biker,
Yeah.
gangbanger, tough killer. And with a woman, you're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people think, I'm gonna beat love. I'm gonna get all these fellas. I ain't gonna marry. I ain't getting.
Do you know it?
Caught up.
You've met a ton of guys,
Yeah.
billionaires, celebrity. You've met the biggest, influencers in the world, right? Over the last 30,
Yeah.
40 years. I'm curious, is there a man that you know today or in the past who's maybe passed away who feels so much love in his heart and feels like he made it without having a great partner? Like, can he do it alone and just sleep with a bunch of girls, take what he wants and do these
Be
things?
that guy.
Can he be that guy and still be like peaceful and love in his heart, or is he unfulfilled?
They're great. My experience.
Good
is great.
question,
My
dude.
experience, a guy that did a lot of stuff with women and stuff. I'm not proud of. Like, the more women you would think the more women you have, the more crowning achievements you will receive from people or whatever the situation, the player
Yeah.
world. But the more women you be with, the more you feel like you've been taking parts away from you.
The hole is getting bigger.
Yeah, it feels like you're dying. The more they're taking from you, you feel like you're being taken. You're being torn apart. You're feeling empty. You're feeling dark. You just don't feel good about yourself.
Wow.
You all these people, you got nothing from them but you know? And what did you get from that feeling? Why did you want to have that feeling? What was the cause of you having that feeling? Nobody had maybe 3 people had babies, but it was like, come to be, it's just, what was the purpose of that feeling? I don't feel that way no more. I don't move like that no more. And I said, what was the purpose for me to be that way? What did I get out of it? No one got any babies. We got some diseases. We got, you know what I mean? Nobody got any love from that. Or was that perceived as love? What was that? I tell my wife, what was that all about? You think I would meet all these people in the afterlife and stuff? What's the afterlife? What about the people that watch me fight? Would I ever see them again, all of them, collectively? If all this stuff go back, where do we all go? Where's like what you're thinking right now? Well, what am I talking about? That feeling, that energy. Where did that go when we die?
Yeah.
Like you're not even talking, but that you're talking. You hear shit in your head. Where did that go when we die? That can't die. Where does it go? I'm just thinking. Did that just black out? Like you pull out a plug socket? What happens with that?
Goes back into the circulation.
But imagine if it go into a bug or a rock or a tree, and we become that.
Yeah. I'm not sure how reincarnation works. You know, do you come back as another human being? What, and why, what person you come back as?
I was telling my wife hates bugs.
Yeah.
And every now and then a bug gets in the house and she freaks out, right? I said, listen, that's probably your grandmother coming back in reincarnation. She wants to see you so bad. As soon as you come back, water.
Wow.
I think
Then
there's
what?
probably stuff like that.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I think these are people that we
Absolutely.
love, and we see them and we hate them so bad. And they say, Mike, look, it's me. But they're so,
Yeah.
they say, I'm back. I thought I was dead. Hey, Mike, it's me. Poof. I kill him.
I know, man. I have a new practice. Any bugs,
I don't kill anything.
I bring them outside. Because my wife is the same. She's like, get the spider out of here.
Yeah.
I'm like, babe,
I tell my
thing.
wife, I'm not killing nothing. I tell
Yeah.
that right there. I'm not killing. You gonna kill? You kill. I'm not killing anything.
That might be my new policy.
Yeah.
When do you feel the most loved, Mike?
When I feel the most love,
When do you feel the most love in your heart?
you know when? When I'm around watching YouTube, and I hear my kids running around, and my wife comes up and down after feeding the kids, maybe come from work, and I'll come upstairs and get in the shower, maybe sit on the bed, or sit on her chair, electric chair that puts electric vibes to her body, and I say I'm very happy. Everybody's in the house, all my kids are here, and that's when I'm the most loved.
Wow.
And we're all together. All my oldest kids, the youngest, they're all from school, from home, and they're all back together in the same house. I feel one love at all.
That's awesome.
Why do you think that experience makes you feel the most loved and not something else?
Because everything that I love is, I feel secured. I feel like, listen, this is the fourth sense of security. I feel like I can protect them right now. I can't do nothing. It's
Somebody
out of
can
my
come in there
fucking
and do
hand.
something.
Somebody can come in and kill us all with a bat. Forget a gun, right? But it's the fact, I think that they're safe now because they're with me. Boy,
Yeah.
that fucking, that's the eagle.
Yeah, it is.
I think they're safe because they're with me. Isn't that sick? And I know that, but it just makes me feel that.
Feels good. Yeah, it makes you feel loved.
They're grown, too.
It's an interesting breakdown of that, Mike. You took it all the way through.
I love them so much. I don't want them to ever, and they never experience anything I experienced. Just the kind of people and did the things and been in prison and got bad records and stuff. They're very clean. They got good stuff. They got good beginning. They don't got no with them. You know.
Awesome.
Well, my brother, I don't know how much time you guys have. I'm just asking some questions, but when I was how old was I? I was 8 years old. My brother went to prison for selling drugs. So when I was 8 until 12, we would drive, a couple hours on the
The
weekend.
guards treat you like.
It was crazy, man. Yeah, we'd drive the weekend. It'd take like an hour to get through the security every time, and then I'd sit in this, big room with all the convicts and my brother. And I was 8 years old until 12, and I remember just hearing these stories about prison that blew my mind as an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, just like what happened. I'm curious, what was the biggest thing you learned about yourself from being in jail?
What I learned from jail, this is what I learned from jail, which is going to be a trip, that there's beautiful people in this world.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
There are. There were so many nice people there.
So many beautiful people in this world. They just had hard luck or bad times and stuff. It's beautiful people. And they may be killers. Yeah, they may have done some really horrific shot. People did some stuff. Drug deals went bad stuff. But they have a human quality about them. They're kind. You just said not. You just have a different look. We have a different perspective of a drug dealer. We look for the drug dealer. He has some guns. He's coming with his pack, and a bunch of guys got their guns ready for people, for action to come, and they come across a big bag. Sadistic people. But that's not what it is. These are people on hard times.
Yeah.
And nobody, government's not doing nothing. They're not even giving welfare out anymore. You know, this is the company where if you're not doing well, if you don't make it, you. That's the country we live in. I know you don't know what likes to hear, but if you're not doing good, you don't have a good family, you don't got good education, you don't got good working skills, you're not big, strong buck, you. You come back from the army, you're paralyzed, you got shot up, you. You're old, you can't work, can't do nothing, you. You immigrate, don't got no skills. How your girlfriend look, how your wife look, they're beautiful. Can I fuck them? No, can't, you.
Wow. Yeah, but people, there are some. I've been up to Lancaster to the maximum security prison up there and done some workshops. And I did a workshop for 5 hours with a former NFL guy, Steve Weatherford. I don't know if you.
I know Steve, punter.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
played
yeah.
together in Jacksonville.
There you go. Yeah, good buddy of mine. So we went up there. I took a few guys, and there was about a room of 25 murderers, right? That had all murdered. Or they were like on the scene when it happened, and they got in there for life, whatever, right? And they were some of like the most lovely, kind men. Now, they'd been in there. They've been doing the work. They've been working on themselves, transforming, forgiving themselves. They've been in the work for years, decades. But there's some lovely people if you're willing to change and do the work.
Yeah, I know that, but listen, how do these beautiful people that we're talking about, how do they get a good break when they come out there and they got this stripes on their back? They want to read your portfolio. They see all this prison shit. You got the highest. Some of these guys got the highest form of education from Ivy League schools. Online in prison, and can't get a job.
That's true.
They got Ivy League stuff.
There's a guy in Stanford from there.
Yeah. They got Ivy League stuff, man. These guys are geniuses. They just went the wrong direction. These guys are geniuses. These guys are brainiacs. The reason why we can't have radios and stuff in prison is because one of these little crazy, intelligent bastards could turn it into a phone where they can hear what in the warden's office. You know what I mean? So that's why we can't have we can't have the things no more, the Walkmans no more, the radios, because these guys turn it into devices where they can hear in the warden's office when they go send the people up for searches and lockdowns and all that stuff. These guys are geniuses. You can't believe it. They're like Einstein. They're in there for murder. Drug dealing. These guys are so smart. They blow your mind, man.
It's wild.
I'm curious.
They pass every state that the school requirements have for college, institutions, everything. They pass them with flying colors like they were cheating. You think they're cheating? Not scores that they get.
Wow.
It's wild, man.
I'm curious. Hypothetically, let's say you could pick the day you get to die. How old would you want to be? If you could say, okay, I can choose any day, any year, would you want to be 100 or 200 years old? Like, how old would you like to live until?
I wouldn't live long because I wouldn't want to see my children die.
Wow. Okay.
I wouldn't live long at all.
Wow.
That would kill me if I, see them growing old. I lost the daughter at 4, but imagine that me with the relationship I have with my children now. I would probably handle it, but I wouldn't want to deal with it. I wouldn't want to see it. So I would want to die a lot earlier.
Right. Well, say it's your last day and your family was still alive.
Yeah.
And you died. Say it was 100 and your family was still alive, right? What do you think you would want people to say about you in 50 years from now if that was when you died? What would you want people to say about you at your funeral or just in life after you pass?
I don't know. I just want my kids to say my daddy took care of us.
Oh, yeah.
That's just more important. My daddy, the other people are going to have their opinion, they're individuals,
Yeah.
whatever it is, and that doesn't bother me. I just want my children because I've always been up in that department.
Yeah.
My children have to come visit me on my birthday. They always have to see me in prison all the time and everything. When I went through that part of my life, my kids always got to come through the glass, got to hang out with my kids through
the worst, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
All that stuff.
That's cool, man.
It's a good question.
I'm always asking
do you
myself
want?
this stuff,
That's what we are as people. We want people to think something about us. That's our ego. We want to think. I'm telling you, people's egos are so big. They want to be. They're mad they can't be at their own funeral. They want to see who came.
I think I would want something similar, which is like I would want people to know that I really cared about humanity, and I had a big heart, and I wanted to help people as much as I could, and just that I was a kind human being. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I tried my best to do as good as I could to help people, you know.
And then you have to deal with this. Your best wasn't good enough.
Oh, man.
Imagine that. So,
well, you're dead then anyway, so you don't have to hear it anymore.
But listen, how do we know? Maybe death is another form of life that we go to. Another part of life. You know, how could life be glorious and death not be glorious? You can't have death if you don't have life.
You walk through the hall and do it all over again.
No doubt about it.
Wow.
But I say to myself about that too. I say, listen, is this an illusion? People are born every second. What is the big deal? Why would God need me to come back? He gets somebody. Other people keep coming. Why do he need my energy back anymore?
Yeah, right.
We already dealt with your energy. We doing some new. You die. Let's see what's going on. You stay there. We don't want to talk to you about you. We may bring you up in some history class before you work, okay?
Right. Well, I think
that's a part of our ego, believing that we're going to continue to live and we're going to be reincarnated. No, you're finished. You had your turn. Come on.
Yeah.
You know?
It's possible, but you think about like your question, Mike, of Alexander the Great.
Yes.
And the thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands of followers he had. And you think about, everybody knows Alexander the Great's name, but they don't know Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
From there. And the case is still that way. There are a handful of individuals in the grand scheme of civilizations that leave a mark that perpetuates on and on. And so what you might think is, why does the universe want me to? Why does Spirit, why does God want me to come back or need me to come back? And it's because you carry with you this knowledge that you spread, that like a virus,
wisdom,
a flow of water over humanity may touch and affect and inspire others to dream and think in this way. You know, and that's why you come back, because for the souls that are here for maybe the first time need to hear this type of stuff, because it takes a lot to wake up in this day and age of technology, you know, hyper accessibility and
comparison, everything, judgment, insecurities, everything. Yeah.
So tell me this, right? How does somebody that lived in the Stone Age connect with somebody that lived right today? He died during the Stone Age, and now do they intertwine one another? The energy intertwine one another? Hey, you're my cousin from 10 million years ago. Do we find things out? Do we receive knowledge from my death?
Yeah, because in our DNA, it's all encrypted and coded into our DNA, into our cells. Yeah. All of this ancient knowledge of who we are.
For my brief, for my brief investigation about the toad and all this stuff and the universe, it's just hard to believe that so many people are born, and what happens to all these people. And like you say a Chinese emperor at one time, he led billions of people, and those billions of people accomplished great things. The Great Wall of China and all the great temples, all this stuff, right? Where are their names? Where are their names?
Gone.
That's a crime. Every million of them, their names should be mentioned. That's when they found the territorial soldiers. They had thousands of them, but it was just too many of them. But they put their names on every one of them with different characters, all of them with different soldiers, and they put their names on them.
That's cool.
And that's the closest that it ever came down, when the whole crew got the recognition.
Wow.
From China. When he made a clay statue of everyone, and the lifestyle of every one of his soldiers.
Wow.
And the soldiers' horses and stuff, and the guns and all this stuff.
Wow.
Well, in that same token of what did you say, Mike? The actions of us all, one of us?
The conduct of one is the faith of us all.
Yeah, wow. So in the same vein, the conduct of one, Alexander the Great, is the fate of his entire community, his entire tribe.
Exactly.
You know, so he is the embodiment of all of those people.
It's true. He represents it. Yeah.
Right.
Nobody ever went that far before. Nobody ever went that far. That must have been crazy. Imagine marching for 10 years. Imagine 10 years just keep going. Not ever thinking about home. Well, you think about home, but you never know when you're coming back. Everybody they went mutiny on him when he got to India. They said, man, we're not going home. We've been gone for 10 years. We lost a bunch of people. We got children by other women from other tribes that in our group now. You know,
Yeah.
It's just, whew.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Bro. Louis, what do you have going on these days, man? What are you doing right now? You writing any new books? You
I'm working on a new book that I'm just started writing. It's about eliminating self-doubt.
Nice.
I think self-doubt
Good one.
is the killer of dreams, and I think it holds us back from everything when we doubt ourselves.
Listen, why do we have doubts? We human beings are the only species that make doubt up when it's not there.
Isn't it crazy?
That's wild.
It's crazy. That's what I'm going to be writing about. Yes, how do we overcome that self-doubt that keeps us back? And it doesn't matter. You know, you've probably seen some talented athletes over the years who maybe they were more talented than you or something. I don't know.
Yes.
And you were like, but they didn't believe in themselves. And you had enough energy to put yourself out there and believe. I met a lot of guys, maybe you did on the football field. I was not the best athlete, but
Absolutely.
I made it past a lot of the guys that I played with. And I was always like, man, you're so talented. You're a mutant. You're a freak of nature. But when it comes to the game, you get scared. And I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
I never understood
Yeah.
it. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if you're the baddest person in the world. And if everyone believes in you and says, you're the greatest, you can achieve it all. If you don't believe, you'll never do anything.
That's so interesting. This is something I always wanted to find out. Like I have some sparring partners, people that and when I'm vicious. I'm like the limit. I knock you cold, break your jaw. And there's some guys in there that kick my right.
And you're like,
What? But you put them in the ring, you put them on
they're
some
nervous.
ice, you put them some popcorn there, and they panic. Won't throw a punch. I said,
yeah.
fight him like you fought me in the gym. There be no, it's fighting the same way. Please, this guy
You'll
be
kill
wrong
him.
after he be dead. And they freak out, they panic. They won't,
I think part of it is, this is something I'm going to be researching and going down. I think part of it is our ego and opinions of other people. We care so much about the opinions of other people. The way we look, if we fail, if, you know, something happens we're not proud of, we're so scared of what our friends, our family, the media thinks of us, that it holds us back from actually being in flow and giving our all.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but that's true too, but there's other things that I think in that realm.
Yeah.
There's some guys that ain't got nothing, talk, pump,
Yeah.
confident. And this guy that got the world, they don't do nothing, they're shy, they're introverted. They don't think much of themselves. They're scared to talk to girls.
Yeah.
Now, why is that? Now, if you talk about self-doubt, you
The
got
insecurities,
the world.
yeah.
You scared to talk to a girl?
I know.
I would buy one. No, forget you. I'll take this money.
I think it's,
Take the car, take
yeah.
the house.
People
I got
are-
trillions. Take the car, take the house.
I think the fear of rejection. It's like the opinion of what that person thinks of you. If they say no to you, then it means you're not worthy. And at the core of all of our fears is us not being enough. It's saying I am not
Yes,
enough,
yes.
and therefore I'm afraid of putting myself out there, because what if this person says you are not enough to me? I'm
Yes.
rejecting you. Then we get scared. And our ego takes over, and we don't want to be put in that situation.
In some cases, people killed other people for saying that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
People freak out.
And isn't it interesting that you could have the world saying, you got this, you're the greatest, and you not believe in yourself and not take up the opportunity. And in the reverse, you could have the world against you. And everyone says, no, there's no way you can do this. There's no chance, you're not good enough. And all it takes is one person to believe, and that's yourself. And when you can be against the world, but if you have the belief, then you can go and create it. And so that's what I want to...
Absolutely.
This book is about developing self-belief
I love that.
and eliminating self-doubt, because I think self-doubt is the killer of dreams.
That's awesome.
And this,
I used to have a mentor, and he used to say this: confidence applied properly will supersede a genius.
oh, yeah. The genius without confidence isn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I've got that.
You should interview Mike for it, dude.
I'm going to.
Nice.
I mean, I'm going to, yeah, for sure. I've got that. I've got a documentary I'm looking to launch here soon that's about, it's called Chasing Greatness.
Nice.
It's all about discovering what greatness is. And I'm excited about that. And then my podcast is called The School of Greatness. So we interview people like Mike, who's going to be coming on soon. And
So tell us, I'm going to say something that John Kennedy Jr. said, all right? I've known him well before he died, right? And he said this, I've met a lot of great men. But and all those great men I met, I never met, there were no good men. And he said, after meeting all these great men, I decided I want to be a good man. And that's what I said. I said, I want to be a good man. People told me I was great for a long time. But it didn't give me, as I got older, it didn't mean anything to me. You know what I mean? And then I realized that being a good man is, it's worth more than being a great man.
Wow.
All great men are not good men. But most good men could become great men.
yeah, it's true.
So true.
That's great.
So true. Because that doesn't give you anything.
No.
All of the material, success. It
Accomplishments,
doesn't
yeah.
do anything for your soul. You may get 5 minutes, 5 years of gratification for your achievements, but it's not going to fill the hole unless you're at peace with yourself, you are in love with yourself.
Listen, we're human beings. We're human beings. Imagine how do you take? You're a great man. How do you take that? What do you say? I'm a bad. How do you really take that? From a perspective of humanity. How do you take? You're a great man.
I just try to say,
I don't even know what that means.
if someone says that to me, I would just say thank you. I'm trying to do my best every single day. I'm learning every day. I'm growing. I'm not perfect, and I just want to help and serve. So I just try to
Absolutely
focus on service, and I say thank you. I'm just trying to serve as much as I can.
My idiotic. I thought of a great man as a man like Gandhi, a man that gives up all his money, gives everything to something. But that don't make him a great man. That's just a man that don't give money. But that don't make him a good man either. He just value. He has a price, but his price is not money. It might be sex.
Yeah.
Might be liquor. Might be drugs. Or just might be his happiness. You know what I mean? And all happy people are not good people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could be doing bad
That's
things and
interesting.
feel happy about it. Yeah.
All happy people are not good people.
That's interesting.
Good stuff, man.
This is fun, guys.
It's really good when you see somebody that's in a bad situation and you try to make that situation better.
That's a good person.
That's a good person.
Yeah.
You don't have to know him or anything, but to make a situation better.
And all you could do, you could simply smile.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't have to do a lot to change someone's energy and make them feel better. You can smile. You can
100%.
say, "How are you?"
Yeah.
It's just your energy, your way of being, how you show up. So.
There's a lot of homeless people around LA.
Big.
You
I
live
see
in
it all.
LA?
I live in West Hollywood.
Downtown LA.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. West
Mike
Hollywood. There's a lot
Tyson.
of people too. Yeah.
Yeah, and on my side of town in NoHo, North
Yep.
Hollywood.
See, in Hollywood, but Hollywood, they got the functional homeless people. They're still clean. They still know how to talk,
They
have
got cell phones,
conversations
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys downtown don't have nothing.
No, yeah, it's
They're going
Skid
to
Row.
die there, man.
Yeah, it's really
Whew.
bad. But, I try to acknowledge them, at least.
That's good.
I feel like those people are so beaten down that if another soul can just acknowledge their existence, that lifts them up to some extent.
That's true. Just smile and say, "Hey, hope you're doing well."
Hey, man, God bless you. Good luck to you.
I don't understand. Listen, it's funny you say that. It was a story about Alexander the Great, and it was this guy, I forgot, genius. I forgot his name, but he was a homeless guy, and he never complained. He was always happy. And Alexander was the king of Greece at the time. And he said, "Hey, listen, I notice you have nothing. You're always happy. I have everything. What can I do for you?" And the guy said this. He said, "For once, if you can please just get out of the way of the sun so I can get my tan." And Alexander just couldn't understand why this guy had nothing, but he was happy. And he had everything, and he wasn't happy. That was confusing.
It's interesting. I've been a part of a charity called Pencil of Promise, where tonight I'm flying to Guatemala.
Wow,
year,
dude.
Every year I go on a trip. We go to Guatemala, Laos, and Ghana, and
Laos
we build
is
schools.
interesting.
It's cool there. I like it there. But we go and build schools. I've been doing it for 7-8 years. A guy named Adam Braun founded it. Scooter Braun
Yes.
is part of his brother. I don't know if you know Scooter. pretty
Cool.
well.
We do.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah. So I'm going tonight, and every year I go on a trip for about 4 days, and I see these kids that have nothing. They're in the middle of, they're so happy, man.
I-
They have
I-
nothing. They have no schools. They have
wanna know
no.
why?
They have a hut, but then they get like a little sandwich, and they're just hanging out with their family, and they're kicking a soccer ball on the dirt field with, trees in the middle of the field, and they're so happy kicking a rock around.
Well, they don't expect anything. In this country, we were taught to expect things, even if we don't work. We expect to have that beautiful girl. We expect to have that house. We expect to have that money.
Someone
that
to give
car.
us money, yeah.
Someone to give it to us.
But they're so happy, and so when I'm there for 4 or 5 days, and I come back and I drive through Beverly Hills to get to West Hollywood, and I see
It's grotesque.
the material
fucking-
abundance and people honking in their $400,000 Bentleys or whatever and getting mad, and I'm like, these people are so happy with nothing. They've got family, they've got laughter, they've got health. And people in Beverly Hills, not everyone obviously, but I see
Yes.
people that are angry and I'm
It's the
frustrated.
cosmic joke, man.
Isn't it crazy?
No, this is crazy. People are so fragile. Life is fragile. It's hard living life. You see people, they say they make a bad mistake, they think it's over, they may kill themselves. Life is hard to live.
Yeah.
By making a mistake, oh God, I'm never gonna get no money, I'm never gonna, my girl left me, nobody's gonna ever love me, boom, I'm dead. It's just people are
It always
fragile.
passes though, right?
Yeah.
You've been through some crap.
Yeah, but you have to go through it. Some people can't go through the rain.
It's a lot of pain
You
to
have
go
to deal
through.
with that pain.
A lot of pain.
Deal with that pain.
And you have to be willing to always see the light.
It's so hard when
and
you
to
feel like you're
cultivate some
suffocating
sort of
though.
hope. Yeah.
But it's just
I
your
know.
mind playing tricks with
It
you.
is. It's all mind
It's on
game.
your mind with you.
It's a mind game.
Human beings are so drama filled. We're movies in our own self.
That's it. It's stories we'd say.
We listen to it's not even true, and we playing into it. We got the emotion to cry. It's cool. It's all right. It's over. It's gone. It's cool.
Good, man. Well,
This is fun.
what do you think, dude? We have a ball in here.
This is a great
Mike's the
conversation.
man. It's a great
I'm excited to
combo.
have you on soon and just talk more about this stuff. So
Hell yeah, dude.
Do you ever think about that? Like, where the am I going to go when it is over? I know you don't think it's a blackout. Boom.
yeah,
I know you know something's going to
I
happen.
think about it every day.
Yeah, you do. Because it's kind of exciting, too. Right? Be honest. It's
what's
scary,
next?
It's exciting. Because, God didn't make us for us to blank out. Do you think God made us for us to just say, hey, it's over, blank out, we don't exist anymore? Come on.
I don't think so.
I'm
The world,
interested.
the galaxy is so big. I think sometimes that we're in somebody's
Dream.
system. No, we're in somebody's system. We're guts. We're cells.
We're cells.
We're living inside somebody that's just so big we can't even fathom it.
Wow.
Why not? Why not?
When we stop being afraid, we're ready to die. Isn't that crazy? When we're no
That's
longer
the
afraid,
paradox.
we're ready to die. Even when you're young, when you're no longer afraid, you usually die.
Interesting.
Fear keeps us alive. Fear is a friend of ours.
You have some realization,
Yeah.
and then you go. Should we wrap this up?
Sure, why not?
Do you guys have a
That's
special
awesome.
ending too?
No.
Oh, good to
Dude,
see you, man.
thank
This
you,
is
man.
powerful.
This is awesome.
It's beautiful. Big Mike.
Hope to see you again.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
It's beautiful meeting you, man.
Mike, amazing episode, brother. Hey, wait, where can people find you?
Yeah, tell us.
At Lewis Howes, LEWIS, and on Instagram or wherever, and then School of Greatness podcast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Check it, y'all.
Why do you think we put greatness and wealth in the same category?
I don't do that.
Well, most people.
Yeah. I think it's.
That's what I thought too.
I think they think of like wealth and success. The reason why, for me, it wasn't called School of Success because I think that word is, I don't know, it's just not used that well. It's tied around like money and accomplishments. Where greatness for me is not about money and accomplishments. It's about service. It's about how can you use the
Sacrifice.
Stepping into your highest self.
Yeah, it's about how can you use the gifts and talents that you were given, that you were born with, to cultivate them and pursue a dream that you have. And in that pursuit, how can you impact the people around you, the maximum number of people? For me, that's
What do we
greatness.
do about homeless people? What do we do about having homeless hotels? Imagine a hotel like Vegas, like the MGM Grand, a 5,000 room hotel. Imagine something like that for the homeless. And as they go in the hotel, they learn how to take care of the hotel. They learn how to handle it, take the people. They learn how to bellhop. They learn how to administration. They learn all that, and then they build more hotels all over the world for homeless people to learn how to live their lives.
I think it's a great concept if they have the responsibility and want to do the work and want to show up and
Yeah,
work.
listen,
That's the challenge.
Man, well, we'll have you on again, and we'll
Yeah, it's
go
fun.
deeper on success and greatness. I think it's awesome, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
Thanks for having
you.
me, man.
I like to think of myself as like a young Ashton Kutcher, like the modern young Ashton Kutcher, where like he takes his acting presence and grows that, becomes like a huge star, but is also on the business side of things.